So I am 50 years old, and so often you hear, that ages are the new something else, right? Like, 40 is the new 30, and, 30 is the new 21. I'm finding out that 50 is the new 51.
Recently went up a font size on my phone. That was a big day. Man, who knew the answers lie in the settings? I was squinting for like 3 years trying to keep up with the kids. Right? I went as high as they offer. I went like top line on the eye chart. I'm reading articles a letter at a time now. It's like, it's an A. I think that's an F. Game changer. I've aged into the 50 and over vitamin section. I didn't even know that existed. You can't be in the regular section anymore. They push you out. All of a sudden, the directions get really ambiguous. It's like, take 2, take as many as 9. We have no idea. Your body is decomposing. Just keep shoving them in your face. This is uncharted territory. Let us know how it turns out.
Oh, man. It's funny getting older, Because I'm not old, but I'm like retired from trying to be young. You hit that threshold. Find more and more things inappropriate. That's a word I barely even used to use, inappropriate. Now, like, every day I can't wait till I'm on the hunt. I'm like, it's inappropriate. Just constantly compiling a list to be submitted to nobody. Right? And if you see something inappropriate, there's usually like an elderly man in the vicinity who saw it like 10 minutes before you did, and he's like way ahead of you, young gun. You're like, yes, teach me your ways, master. I was at the gym recently. I was riding a stationary bicycle, and a song came on over the loudspeaker. Now, when I hear music at the gym, typically it's a song that I only hear at the gym. I don't hear it anywhere else, but it's like gym music. But this was the song that they played this particular day as I was on the stationary bike. These were the words. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck. And it just continued from there. And I just looked around like, does anyone else think this is inappropriate? Like, I was beside myself. I couldn't understand who would make such a choice. Like, and it's not about the language. I don't want you to misunderstand. It's about the environment. Like, if I'm at a club and we're having some drinks, it's like, yeah, like that sentiment makes sense. Yeah, like, we don't give a fuck. Bitch, whatever. But I'm on a bicycle. I'm on a pretend bicycle, trying to like get help. Like, I have intermittent erections. I just went up a font size. I give a fuck, bitch. We all do. Like, we're all trying to like outrun death. It's inappropriate. I mean, there's little kids, like, they have a nursery where you can dump your kids off. They're playing with blocks like, I don't give a fuck, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. I did this music and comedy festival a while back, and those are always fun because you get to hang out with other comedians, like friends that you don't get to see that often. You get to watch them work, and then you get to also check out some music. So this younger comedian asked me if I wanted to go see this rap show. So I was like, sure. So I went, and yeah, I mean, I'm 50 years old. I've been to my share of rap programs over the years. I know the basic terrain. It's gonna be a lot of like throw your hands in the air and make some motherfucking noise, and there's gonna be a list of demands, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with all of it. It's great. So that was what I expected. But this kid comes out at the beginning of the show. This is the first thing out of his mouth. Comes out, greets the crowd. He's like, "Yo, make some noise if you got the best pussy." And again, I looked around like, does anyone else think this is inappropriate? Like, I could not believe that's how you're gonna break the ice. Like, you've never met these people. Like, I felt so many emotions. I felt like old. I felt like jealous. I never thought of that. I mean, like, I perform in front of crowds constantly, and it would never even occur to me to ask about your pussy. I didn't know that was on the table. Like, it's like the ground shifting beneath me. I'm like, what? And the thing was, everybody went bananas. Like, I never heard so much noise. Everybody made noise. Like, they had the best pussy. Guys, girls, it didn't matter. It made no sense. Even mathematically, like, best is a superlative. Only one person should have been making noise. It was just a sea of lion pussy out there. It's completely inappropriate on a lot of levels. And again, like the concerts that I go to, they don't say those kind of things. Like, you know, James Taylor. Not once did he mention pussy, and looking back, there were a few opportunities he could have thrown it in, like, not who's got the best pussy, but like, how's everybody's pussy tonight? You know, like in his style, I was on a flight recently. I was seated in the exit row, which I take very seriously. For Americans, that's as close as we come to being knighted. It's like, are you willing and able? I'm like, yes, I am. If the need should arise by the powers vested in me, I do accept. So help me God. Take it very seriously. Give my verbal yes, make eye contact. The guy seated across the aisle from me as the flight attendant was giving the speech, he's on his phone, he's got it like in the crook of his neck, and he gives her a thumbs up. I'm like, whoa, can we murder this guy? Like, inappropriate. Like, we are the Avengers of this flight, and this is the training. Completely inappropriate. So yeah, you know what I realize is I'm aging out of slang. The slang ship has sailed for me, and I don't really care. You know, that's a sure sign that it's time for you to move on. If like you hear younger people using a slang term and you don't care, that's a good phase of life. I heard a younger friend. He used the term thirsty. Front row, you all know thirsty, right? Everybody knows it. A couple rows back, you don't know. Thirsty. I didn't know what it was. My friend explained it to me. Because he was like, I don't want to seem too thirsty, man. And I was like, no, that's important. You should really stay hydrated. These days, you could cramp up, No telling what could happen. And he was like, no, man. Thirsty. Desperate. He explained to me, it means desperate for someone's attention, someone who you are trying to attract. You don't want to seem too desperate, too thirsty. And I said, no, that's actually, the word already has a meaning. And I'm going to stick with that one. But you kids enjoy, you run around and play with that. I'm trying to impregnate my wife, for Christ's sake. I don't want to seem too thirsty. I texted the wrong person back recently. I don't know if you've had that experience. I've got 2 texts in kind of a short period of time, I texted the wrong person back. The first text was from my brother, who was excited because the Mets were off to a good start. If you follow baseball, you know this text was about a month ago when they were off to a good start. The second text was from my friend who told me that his mother-in-law got accepted to hospice care. It's a very different text and tone. I texted back who I thought was my brother. It's still early. You don't want to get too excited too soon. Luckily, my friend had a good sense of humor. I explained I was talking about the Mets, not his mother-in-law. And if all goes well, they'll both make it to October. It's going to depend on the defense.